Woo! Hey guys, welcome back. Hold on. Hey guys, welcome back. This is History of Digimon Digital Monsters Season 2, Episode 24 of my show, but this is about Episode 23. Now, before I start talking about it, this video I'm just gonna let you guys know this. This video that I'm gonna do right now is gonna be my last one until you see Canada Day in July 1st is the next week. It's coming up, and that is Canada Day. So next week on that day, I'll upload the day after. So whatever day Canada Day's on, I'll take a break because I won't be here to upload. So I'll wait until next week, like not next week, but the day after Canada Day to upload my next video. I just thought I'd get that small part out of the way for you guys. Now getting into it, this is History of Digimon Digital Monsters Season 2. Episode 24 of my show, but this is about episode 23. And episode 23 in the English dub is known as Genesis of Evil. Now basically what happens in this episode is basically set, like I said in my previous video. This video that I'm talking about, like, if you guys remember the video that I did last week, I kind of stated that this video that I talked about, I referenced it. I said that this video would focus mostly on Ken's character, and that's basically what, and I mean what I said and stuff. And it also will explain about his brother and stuff like that as well. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, as this episode starts off, it starts off with his mom walking over to his room and telling him that they're just in the other room, they're not going anywhere and stuff, so anytime they need them, he'll be fine. Now, Ken's actually sleeping in this episode, and then she says that he will wake up, he just needs some Tylenol, and then, now this is the weird part about it. I just thought I'd get this out of the way. Somehow, he reminisces about his brother Sam in the real world, even though he technically has temporary amnesia. But that's and stuff like that. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, like I was saying, Ken's dad is saying to his mom, "Is he gonna be okay?" And then she's saying that he's sure that Ken will wake up. It'll just take some time for them and stuff, for him to wake up. And then basically what happens after that is, then Ken's thinking to himself, he's saying that he can't wake up not until he finds his heart and stuff, which is kind of weird, in my personal honest opinion. It's a little weird. Anyway, continuing on, and he's, like I said, this video, he kind of reminisces about his brother and how he kind of first ended up in the digital world. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, starts off with them blowing bubbles. In one of the flashback scenes, it starts off with them blowing bubbles on the terrace and stuff like that. And then, basically what happens is, apparently, in the second season series, Ken was a little jealous of his older brother, because as far as his parents were concerned, his older brother could do no wrong and stuff like that. I'll explain more about that later when I get to the part where the Digivice shows up. And then later on, basically, and then he said, and then in another flashback scene, he's saying that he remembers the first day the Digivice came to their apartment, and then his brother is saying that he doesn't. Sam's the younger version of Ken is saying he wonders what it is, and then his older brother Sam is telling him that he's not sure, and he puts it in his drawer, and puts it in his drawer, and he tells Ken not to take it. but then he does take it, and then basically what happens is he uses it to go into the digital world in the computer, and then he comes back out, and then his brother gets mad at him for it, and this is the weird part. And in another plot bubble scene, he's saying that his brother, basically before that part of the flashback, and Ken's brother is telling him not to touch his stuff ever again, and if he would have gotten hurt, his mom would have blamed him. Their mom would have blamed him for it, and by him and himself, Sam and himself, and stuff like that. And basically, what happens is then it goes. Then Ken's having another thought scene where he said that his brother hated him. He didn't need to get mad at him. He just wanted to play with his toy. And he couldn't tell, and apparently he couldn't tell his parents about it because as far as they were concerned, he could do no wrong and stuff. And then this is the tragic part about it. He says about their other son, and then they kind of makes this wish saying that he wished he would just disappear, and then this kind of leads into what happened. I guess I should mention it. Back in the last video I did for the first half of the season, which is the second episode of the 27 episodes that I'm on, there is a flash memory of his brother showing up. I just thought I'd get that over with. And then he's saying, in a narrative scene, he's saying that it happened, and then his younger self is saying that he was just kidding about wanting his brother to disappear and stuff. And then his mom and dad are getting upset about it in a dating scene. And then basically what happens is, then one day he's on his brother's old computer, and then this is another weird thing about it. He finds an email that is addressed to him, and during the portion where the email is, there's this voice talking. Now I won't explain who that is until later on, but I'll just give you a little heads up about it. The man that's talking in the voice with the thing is someone who has a connection to Cody's character, which again I will explain later. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. And then basically what happens is he tells the younger version of Ken, the voice in the email, saying that his brother's in a better place, but when his soul became free, Ken's became trapped, and then he tells them about another world that is much more appropriate, and then he said, which is technically the digital world, then he goes into it using his brother's Digivice, and then he looks at this place. Now this is the weird part. If you guys remember back when I did the 10 set of episodes, there was an episode I did where it showed up with an ocean and stuff. This is that same place, and then he sticks his older brother's Digivice into the water, and then this is also another weird part about the episode. All the things that he said in the Digimon Emperor later on are like thought images in his head, and then his Digivice turns black and stuff, which is the Digivice that doesn't allow them to digivolve and stuff like that. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. So basically that leads into what happens in the first couple of episodes. I just thought I'd get that small part out of the way. And then later on what happens is Ken then later wakes up from his coma state, and this is the weird part. Like I said before, he has temporary amnesia. Like he didn't lose his memory. He lost his heart, and he figures that until he finds his heart, he doesn't know who he is, and his parents are. So basically, what happens is while he's lying down in a coma thing, his parents are wondering about Sam and stuff, how when he was younger he wanted to do things, and when Sam was gone they tried to make Ken do the same things Sam did, make him kind of like Sam and stuff like that. And basically what happens is when he wakes up they're kind of apologizing to him and stuff, and then he's got this tear coming into his eyes, and then basically what happens is now that I'm at it with the Sam character, I should have mentioned it. There was apparently the way The reason why Ken went to the digital world in the first place was because he couldn't handle his problems in the real world where his brother was gone for good. And apparently his brother died in I think, accident, some kind of accident or something. It did show it and it did say an accident, but it didn't clarify what kind of accident it was. Maybe he got like brutally hit by a vehicle. That's just my honest opinion. That's what I'm thinking because they showed him falling like this in the flash scene. So I think he might have gotten hit by a vehicle. But honestly, that's my honest opinion. If you guys want, you can leave a comment in the comment box saying what your opinion is of what type of accident it was. Like it was, I know it was a fatal one. That's all I know about it. I think he got hit by a vehicle or something. I'm not quite sure what. But that's my honest opinion. If you, like I told you guys, if you want, you can leave a comment in the comment box telling me what you think the accident really was and stuff. Anyway, continuing on, then he finds a picture of his brother, and then they're telling him about him, and then they were all devastated after Sam's accident and stuff. And then basically what happens is, then later on he wonders about, then there's like these flashes of Wormmon showing up, so then he uses the Digivice that he finds, which is his, to go into the digital world, and this is the weird part, his parents were upset that he was gone again, and then he keeps walking in the digital world until he comes to a primary village place. And then one of the baby Digimon that he's talking to is telling him that the place that he's in is the primary village. It's actually a baby Wormmon. And he's telling him that where he's in is the primary village, and telling him that that Wormmon is telling him that this is the place where all the Digimon are reborn. And Ken's wondering about that, and the Wormmon is basically saying that Digimon never as I believe I stated this before, technically Digimon don't die. Their physical data just gets reconfigured, and they come back to primary village once they're destroyed. The only reason, I'll reference it again, my previous season that I did, the only reason the Digimon that were destroyed during the Dark Master saga didn't go back to primary village was mainly because the Dark Masters had poisoned that part of the digital world that they're evil. Well, they poisoned all the digital world with evil, but the place that was most affected, in my honest opinion, was primary village. I thought I'd get that out of the way. I just thought I'd reference that back. And then Ken is wondering, and he runs to where the Digi-Eggs are, and he's wondering which one is Wormmon. And he's wondering which one is... It's working, it's just being slow. And he's wondering which one is Wormmon, that he can't find it. And he also said that it's just like he can't remember who he is, or what happened to him. And then one of the baby Wormmons saying that he's the Digimon. That he's the Digimon Emperor, isn't he? And then he's saying that he'd recognize him even without his fancy clothes and stuff. And then he's wondering about that, and he's saying that he's done so many terrible things as the Digimon Emperor, and he says he was responsible for Wormmon, and he owned the truth sooner about the digital world, then Wormmon would still be there today, still be there with him and stuff. And then basically what happens is they're all getting mad at him for what he did, and saying that they can't change what happened in the past. One of the baby Digimon is basically saying that he can't escape from the past. You're in your bed now, lie in it. And he's saying that he'd go on, but he can't think of any more cliches. Oh, that's kind of funny in my personal opinion. That's kind of funny. Oh my god. Anyway, continuing on, then one of the baby Bonemons is basically saying that he can't run away from his past, And what does he think is going to happen? Wormmon is going to come back and be treated badly by him again. And he's also saying, like I said, he can't run away from the past. Then he's caused enough trouble with it. So why doesn't he just crawl under the controlled fire where he came from and be done with it and stuff? And then he's saying about Wormmon not coming back, and then he's saying that it's a truth that he doesn't want to face because he hated his brother for all the attention he got, and he hated Wormmon for because he felt that Wormmon wasn't worthy of him, and then they're all so mad at him, and he's saying that can't he just start over? And he's saying he's asking them to forgive him for the pain that he's caused them in the past and stuff, and he's saying that he's got to move on with his life, and he's saying that if he had another chance, he's sorry, Ken. He said he's sorry to his brother Sam, and he's sorry to Wormmon, and then his crest glows, and then he's wondering what it is, and one of the Poemons there is telling him that it's his crest of kindness, and he's saying, does he really think it's theirs? Does the Poemon really think it's his? And then this DG egg that's pink shows up, and then there's this voice inside the egg telling Ken to come to it, and then Ken's saying that the DG egg that they're different from the others. He feels like he's seen it before, which technically he does, and he touches it, and then the crib shows up, and then Ken's wondering who. Actually, before I continue with that, I just want to mention something. When Ken went back into the digital world and the human world, his parents were, his mother was shocked on it. I just thought I'd get that out of the way, and basically what happens after that is, getting back into what I was saying, Ken is basically wondering who the Digimon in the crib is, and he's saying, and this introduces another new Digimon character. He's called Leafmon, which is basically the baby form of Wormmon and stuff, and then Ken is saying that he kept searching for him, he never stopped, and then Leafmon is basically saying thank you to Ken, because there's another flash scene where Wormmon was telling him about a promise that they made, and then that kind of leads into it. I just thought I'd get to that since I missed that part. It's just I get it out of the way. And basically the promise is about him being kind and gentle and stuff. And Leafmon is saying that basically Ken took a detour on the road to get to it, but he kept his promise either way. And then he goes back into the human world, and his mom is upset about him leaving again, and they find him, and and Ken realizes why she was crying, because she missed him, and then he calls his mom her name, and then she's saying that she remembers him, and he's saying he'll give them a second chance, and he's thanking them for being such great parents. And then in a little narrative scene before the episode ends, he's saying thank you to his brother, like his brother's spirit, for helping him find his heart. And that's basically where this episode stops. But before I can do it, before it ends, it has the part where Leafmon is in the background, like behind the door. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, continuing on. Anyway, like I was saying, this will end the video for today, and the next one I'll do will be a day after Canada Day next week. So until then, guys, like I always tell you, see you guys next time, and keep it digital.